Good evening, or good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. Dave and myself have been going now for a while, discussing some of these truths that was been important in my life, and the truth number 4 that we're going to discuss is the value of knowing yourself. Dave, I made not my statement, but I quoted a guy, a psychologist, David Benner, who said this: you cannot know God unless you know yourself, and you cannot know yourself unless you know God. What do you think of that
It's very
statement?
very profound, hey? And it does speak to me of the willingness to face truth, to be self-aware. And it's God who makes self-awareness safe and real to us. In His presence, we can have the lights go on. Psalm 89:15 says that in your presence we find light. You know, there's the light of His presence. There's something about His presence that helps us to find we can't hide. There's no place to hide. David found that in Psalm 51 after his Bathsheba thing. And Nathan confronted him and he said, Lord, Father, I see now that you have truth in the inmost place. You know, that inmost awareness. That's very important.
Yeah, for me, that's been one of the greatest experiences over the last while, is that knowing to know. And I always say, the greatest gift, especially us men, can give ourselves as we know we are, understand who we are. And that comes through time spent with God, spent with people. And
absolutely. I'm just thinking, Wouter, there was a guy that influenced Colin and I very much from the Church of the Saviour in Washington, D.C., by the name of Gordon Cosby. And one of the ladies in his church was Elizabeth O'Connor. She wrote a book, Our Many Selves. And my conversations with Gordon and then reading Elizabeth's book was very helpful to me to see that the gospel actually is an invitation for ragamuffins to come in. Not just the ragamuffins of the world out there, but the ragamuffin within to be brought to the party, the Luke 14 kingdom party. Go and compel them to come in. The highways and byways and the ragamuffins of this world, compel them to come in. Bring in your unwelcomed selves. And let them come to the party and experience the transformative impact of His grace that the kingdom gospel actually carries.
And I must say, I've said it many times, Dave, and I really mean it when I say it. I think if you have to one day back it up, the end of your story has now come to an end. I think your legacy for me will be one of that, and maybe for you, for Colleen, but in Fountain Vineyard, that continuously you try to create a space for us to do that. A place where you can actually dare to drop your mask, dare to just be yourself. And actually, because it is in that moment when you can start dropping your mask and be yourself, where you're going to start knowing yourself and you're going to start growing. Because the mask is exactly there, is to actually cover up. And it's not just to cover for other people. You actually cover for yourself. You're actually becoming, you're not living in your true self. But when you get that opportunity and to do that, then you can grow. So I think that will be one of your legacies.
Thanks for that, Wouter. I have been challenged by this thought that there are in all of us is at least 3 dimensions of self that need to be invited in. There's the friend within, the part of us that we like. We can celebrate that part. There's the stranger within, the potential that we haven't yet tapped. We know there's more to us than what we have seen or others around us have yet seen. So we kind of watch the space, that self. And there's the third, the enemy within, that enemy that we don't like, where that part of us that we're always fighting with, there's hostility. In my case, it was the enemy of anxiety and depression in those early years, some of those inherited patterns and things that caused that. Nevertheless, creating that space for an enemy within. And so my journey to Christ, especially since 93, since I had that Tennessee River experience where He said, hey, it's a ragamuffin gospel, come, my love makes it safe, was so transformative that my many selves are finding their way to the party and are increasingly experiencing transformation. But I will also say, watch the space. I'm still becoming, human becoming.
Absolutely, for myself as well. But I remember the day that the first time I preached. It was in this building. It was on I love to put stats to dates and stuff. So it was on the 10th day of the 10th month of the year 2010. 10 October 2010 was the first time I preached. And I stayed here, and I started off, and I say, my message was, "Oops, I dropped my mask." And I went for it because I thought, if I give it everything now, if I tell people who I am, I can work from there.
From there, yeah.
And it actually has been for me such a great way to actually then move. Look. It was hectic. Me and my wife had a bit of social distancing for a while after that. But when we had to work through that. But I mean, looking back, she and myself looked back and said it was the right thing for me to do there, because I could just move on from there, and I could just, whenever I talk, I can come from that place. You know who I am. You know exactly who I am, where I come from. But I'm on a journey. And that's what my encouragement for people out there. Is that just to know yourself, to really spend time and grow from there. Thank you.